Hello. For me, it is the evening, so good evening. I have recently ordered a new fountain pen from Amazon. I have been getting some more pricier fountain pens recently, such as the E95S by Pilot. So I decided to go and get something that was a little bit more economical. So I went on Amazon and I got a brass fountain pen with a fine point, and it's considered a travel pocket pen. And the description includes that it's a unique style bullet shape with metal case. So here's the metal case that it comes in. It's very shiny. And inside it has this plastic sleeve, kind of a foamy, hard foamy little insert there. And here is the brass fountain pen with a unique style bullet shape. So it's got some weight to it and definitely smells like brass. Looking closely, you can see the entire body is ridged. Pardon my nails, did them days ago. It's time to do them again. But it's ribbed almost like a bolt. The cap unscrews and it does post on the back. Here's what it looks like in my hand. There's a bit of a close-up on the nib. And so on the nib, it says Dlik, D-L-I-K, super quality. And it has some little design there towards the tip. So I have not inked this up yet. Let's see inside. It comes with a converter. I always like that. Now I have always been a fan of using a syringe to fill. So the ink that I'm going to use is from Diamine's Inkvent this past year. So this is called Nightshade. And I chose this because it's a fairly basic ink in terms of it does not have a shimmer, so I don't have to worry about whether it will clog up the nib, especially with writing in it for the first time. And let me just get to my ink sample page. It is this one right here, Day 15 Nightshade. So it's a really nice blue, seems to have a little bit of a purple undertone, little similar perhaps to Robert Oster. And where is that one? If I don't find it quick, over here, Summer Storm. So there's Robert Oster Summer Storm, which is just a little bit darker than Nightshade. Okay. Did not get very much in that fill. There we go. A little bit better. I always have such a fear of spilling my ink, so I make sure to put the cap on pretty much right away. All right, so far, so good. Very easy. Now I am going to write with it just because I want to get a true just inked writing sample, but then I want to show a few size comparisons for this pen as opposed to a couple of others in my collection. So let's see how it writes. Okay, so this feed is going to take just a bit to fill up. So while I'm waiting, so here is the copper pen. It is round, there's nothing to stop it, but here it is next to the E95S, pretty close to exactly the same size, and the Kaweco Sport, which is a little bit smaller. I would have predicted that, but glad I brought those out for comparison. And I'm surprised that these two are exactly the same. I would have predicted that this would have been bigger. Now let's talk about when it's posted. So you have the E95S. The brass pen. And the Kaweco Sport. So it does appear to be slightly longer than the E95S and longer than the Kaweco. And I said sport, I meant collection. I apparently posted that quite hard. Okay, so let's see if this ink is ready. Still not. That is the downside of doing a fill in the manner that I did, is that I'm not getting the ink flowing up, it's got to come down. So I can see a little bubble of ink right there. So it's on its way. I don't know if the camera picks up on that, but there's a little tiny shimmer there of wetness. When I say shimmer, I mean wetness. All right, let me pause. I'm going to try one more thing. Okay, let's try again. All right, so we've got the ink flowing. What I did is I ran it under water, and I did give it a few good shakes in a downward motion. And when I did that, some drops did come out, but now I've got it flowing. So that's good. Oh, I really do like this color. That's a fun color. Right there. Yep. So we have Amazon brass fountain pen in a fine. Not really any line variation when you put pressure on it, but it does because I'm going slow. It's putting more ink down. writing in reverse. Okay. So I'm going to write the word fine. Now this one is an extra fine. And this one is a medium. Now I would say that this fine really is much closer to a medium. I would not categorize this as a fine. You can see that's still drying because quite a bit of ink did go down. Okay, so I think final thoughts for now is I will acknowledge I'm a little disappointed that it took so long to get started. I do routinely use a syringe to fill up my pens. I just don't like the process of dipping the nibs in ink and then having to clean everything out. And I don't tend to have that issue where it takes so long for the ink to come down and it takes so much work. So I'm not a fan of that. The weight is good. I do like the weight. I think that that's going to be really enjoyable to write with. I appreciate that it posts. I've never had a cap that I've had to twist to post, so that's going to be a unique experience. I think the length is okay. It does feel good in my hand. And what I'm going to be intrigued about is over time how this material ages and how, I guess, how it wears in general. You know, whether you are going to be able to see scratches or if the ribbed material hides that nicely. So this will come back. This probably will be in my November currently inked, just because I fully filled it, and so I probably will have some ink left in there for November. And I will do a review probably after a few months, just to see how I like it then. The other thing I'm interested in is, because it was such a hard start, whether that will happen again. So for example, put it away tonight. If I bring it out tomorrow, will it start right away? Or if I only use it every couple of days, how that's gonna go. But I'm excited to have it in my collection. I'll add it right here. And I did place an order today for another fountain pen on Van Ness, as well as some samples. So stay tuned for an initial review of that pen, and you know, perhaps I'll even do a writing sample in my book for when I do my swatches. I don't have the fancy cards like other people, but I do have my swatches and I do really enjoy them. So thank you so much. I appreciate the comments I've gotten so far, and I hope that you enjoy this video. Thanks, bye.